In today's episode of interview of the GSP Forum, we shall be hosting an elder statesman who hails from Lafia axis of Nasarawa State. His name is Engineer Esla Abimiku. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Who is Engineer Esla Abimiku?
Esla Abimiku is an Egon, born in Kabu, and then relocated by my father to Mburumburu. I had my primary school in Gudi, then went to government science school Kuru. On completing during the Civil War, we were requested to take up position in the railways because at the exodus of the Easterners, the railway stations were completely vacant, and so we were pleaded to take over. So we went for a training in the railways. After 1 year training, we were posted to stations as station masters. But having served there for a number of years, 9 years, I realized that there was no future much for me in the railways. So I checked out, and then I went to read mining engineering and applied geology in Kaduna Polytechnic.
Wow.
And when I finished, I served in Bauchi, and I was employed by the state government in Plateau State, then Plateau, where I served with them. In the process of serving, I also took up some courses. I did my postgraduate diploma management at ATBU, and then also did my MBA at the ATBU while I was still in service.
Oh.
However, I retired as
Bauchi State.
Bauchi State.
Okay.
Then eventually retired from the civil service as Director of Industries and Solid Minerals in 2007.
So you're a professional engineer
Yes.
in mining.
Professional
Mining
engineer with my seal to do practicing in any field, because you have to be a registered, approved mining engineer for you to go outside and do practice of the mining industry.
And Nasarawa State is the home of solid minerals.
Yes.
So you must be mining very well in the States.
Well, we're doing some skeletal services in the mining industry, yes, sir.
Okay. So what would you say about the mineral resources in Nasarawa State, which is your home state?
Yes. Before we left Plateau for Nasarawa State,
yes,
we're doing some exploration. We're doing some exploration work. We went to Toto, looked at the deposits of marble and other industries that are minerals that are there. So when the state was created, the acronym of Nasarawa State becoming home of solid minerals was not just a mere fluke. Okay. It was a reality, because we now realize from the speculative prospecting that we did, almost every local government has some solid minerals that we know you can embark upon extracting such solid minerals in those respective local governments. So this is a virtue that almost all other states were surprised when we had this. When we go for international trade fairs, people ask us questions. Well, what do you have in this local government? What do you have in this local government? And we tell them the results that we have. And not only that, we also tried to make up profiles, which we were taken around.
Okay.
In all of this, so that it doesn't become just mere rhetorics. You can see it in the print. Everywhere we put clearly what is available in each local government and what are the uses of these solid minerals. And the people were convinced that, yes, these were really very good omen of what the potentials that we have in the state.
Yeah. So this is profile and investment opportunities of Nasarawa State.
Yes.
Home of solid minerals. And all the local governments are indicated here.
Are indicated
with their types of solid minerals.
With the type of solid minerals
they have.
And then the types of agricultural resources that we have. Okay. Because I told you, I was director of solid minerals and industries. So we are also
in the Plateau State or here?
Here,
Nasarawa State. Okay.
In Nasarawa State, yes. So we look at the potentials in solid minerals. We look at the potentials in agriculture. We look at the potentials also in tourism, and we capture them all here. For any investor coming to invest, he will not have any problem of scouting, but he will be able to select where that investment we want to be concentrated, and then we'll give a backup.
So why is it that if we're the home of solid mineral in Nasarawa State, why is it that mineral mining or solid mineral has suddenly taken a back seat in contributing to the wealth of our state or our nation?
Thank you very much for bringing that.
There are problems.
If you notice from the now present Minister of Solid Minerals,
yes,
when he took over the mantle of leadership, you will discover what he was saying. A lot of the minerals that have been exploited do not go through the normal process.
Okay.
They do not even have any license. They do not have any, but they go into contact with illegal mining, miners, and they extract these minerals raw as it is, and they export. And they export them. So much of it, especially here in Nasarawa State. You see a lot of lead, a lot of copper, a lot of mica, a lot of lithium. All these are just extracted without any documentation and are being exported. So you will discover this actually brought us to a setback because there was no regulations. And then number two of why this setback came in is the issue of insecurity.
Okay.
Insecurity had made it very, very difficult. I, for instance, had to stop going out because it takes a very high risk for you to go and do any mining and come back safe to your home. It's very, very difficult. And the expectation, the impression of some of the communities also, by the time you go and dig a hole and you get one piece of tourmaline, oh, they say this one has gone and are getting millions. And then they begin to. So with these unregulations in the mining industry, especially illegality had taken its center stage. And so it brought a serious setback to the mining industry. But I thank God that the present administration is really taking a bold step to see how they will be able to restore, the sanity in the mining industry by making sure that you have to register and do the proper documentation before you are allowed to. And then they send a lot of inspectors with the police to go around and check where people are mining, what authority do you have, what license do you have, and who actually authorizes you. Is the community aware of this, what you are doing, so that it will at least bring sanity into the mining industry?
So it clearly shows that most of our miners today are not professionals.
They are not professionals, certainly. Most.
So they don't observe even the safety precautions and all that you take both for the community and for themselves.
Nothing there to show. All that they need is to extract and then dispose
and then take it away,
and then make their money and go. Not even minding of how the degradations of the land that they have already made. That one is not even in their own interest. It's just to extract money. But we are appreciating that sanity will certainly come if this government actually maintain the surveillance that they are now keeping in the industry.
So in which way are we going to have our youths who are upcoming now to pick interests in the field of mining engineering and possibly with related engineering courses? Can you just enlighten? Maybe there are youths around who would be interested in going into that field, because this is home of solid minerals, and we must have professionals. Now that we have, should I use the word touts, or we just have unprofessional people mining and destroying the land, they don't even care about their health or even the health of the communities where they come from. But if we have professionals who have gone through this training in school just the way you have been, they will be able to know what to do to maintain the status quo in the state. So, which way can we help our youths to truly understand what combination of courses, which courses can they study in school? What is that thing that is required of them to go into this field?
First of all, I appreciate the question you have asked, but let me tell you the truth.
Yes.
The youth today are much in a hurry to make money in millions. They are much in a hurry to make money in millions within a given time.
But there's nothing wrong with it.
Yes, nothing wrong. But
let them just get it in the right way.
But you know, mining.
Yes.
For you to go to the field and do extract minerals where you will be able to bring it and do and sell.
Yes.
Is more difficult than farming work. Okay. It is more difficult than farming work. You have to dig, you have to be there, and you have to extract, and then you have to wash. By the time you come out of the mining paddock, sometimes you look so dirty, you look so muddy.
Yes.
In your distance, but after that, you will be able to make it. So my advice to the youth is, if they really want to go into this industry that is highly is a high potential for making money, is they must study in the field of this mineral industry. Some of them should study geology, which of course almost all the universities are offering. But studying
is Nasarawa State offering?
Yes, yes. Both Nasarawa State University and Federal University here are all offering geology, which is okay. But let us not stop at just geology. If we stop at geology, you go and do exploration and say, yes, there is barite here, there is gold here, there is silver here, there is lithium. Okay, you have studied, you have seen this. How do we extract it? You have told us that this reserve is there. What method of extraction are we going to adopt? I think this is where I expect that the youth should also embark on a mining engineering technology of how to be able to do the extraction. Are we going to do, in some places now, they do this Lotto. Lotto mining is a place where you did not put any poles. You did not put any support. You went underground and start, because you found that the mineral is underground.
You keep following it.
You keep following it. And then, most cases, eventually you find that the ground gives way.
Oh.
And it buries the people there. Silently. It's happening. Especially in some sandy areas where you go for the mining, you find that this thing is making money.
You keep going.
Making money, yes. And then you keep going. You don't have any support. Even the issue of air that you are breathing, you are not bothered about it. You find them going for a very long way and extracting it there. But when they are not able to come because the ground, the upper limit of the ground went down, then they have buried themselves there. I think this technology of how to be able to extract is very important. Then also processing. You see, most of the minerals that are being taken out from here, they are not being processed here. We take them raw. Sometimes here, we're extracting coal here in Nigeria. And then they are just taking the coal to Lagos. And then we said, oh, how we wish that they would have processed it into finishing this. Those who are using it for gas, those who are using it for cooking, let it be put into finished use here. While I was still in service, we also thought of the barite from Azara. And then we tried to, along this Ajara-Guru, we cited a place where the federal government also gave our approval that we will be able to extract, when we extract the barite from Azara, from Ekiana, Aloshi, and all these places. Let's take it to the processing center. And you do not have to be necessarily an expert in extract. Even if you have it in your own small,
you can bring it.
You can bring it. You process it. They will charge you for the processing fee, and then you take it to Port Harcourt for the oil drilling that they're using.
Do we have the processing centers?
No, it was just it lie down where you find this mobile stay now on your way
to Azara.
To Ajaragu.
Okay.
This Mopol.
Yes.
Yes, that was where we initially recommended, and then we started the building so that the processing machines will come, so that even individuals that do not have the money,
he can just take his own.
You take your own there. You take your own and do the processing, and then look for market. That would have been good, but that idea just died out, and government, they just killed it there. So for now, as I'm telling you, there's no processing machine for
anywhere.
Even this one that we call Abacha processing plant here, very close to College of Agri.
Yes.
Look at that fantastic processing that was doing this. It's just abandoned because government does not pick interest in some of these things.
And but they permit people, they license people to go and mine these things, and they don't care about the processing. How will the state make her money?
So this is where the difficulties are. We just extract
the raw materials
and take them up. Extract raw materials and take them there.
And then we later buy the finished product.
We will then buy the finished product from them, which is a very bad decision. So our students, our youth, should also be able to know these techniques of processing. If they do, it will certainly help. You don't even need to go into binding if that is the case. If you don't want this wahala of the sun heat in you. But when they extract, you take it
and process
it, and it is ready for the market. In that way, it will be much better for us.
So in that case, there is need for people to set up companies or individuals or organizations. If organizations want to set up, maybe register a mining company, processing company, and so on and so forth, what are the procedures? Either an organization or an individual?
Well, first of all, for you to enter into mining,
yes,
just as you have mentioned, if you really want to enter into mining, you have already gotten a reserve somewhere.
Yes.
Ezekiel has a mining reserve somewhere, and he wants to go in legitimately to extract this. First, what you will do is to register with Corporate Affairs Commission
the name
of the company as you have designated. You go to the Corporate Affairs Commission,
yes,
and register. After you register, you open an account with any of the banks with a minimum charge of 3 million. You must have an indication of minimum charge of 3 million.
Yes.
In that account. In that account, which you will register. And then after you have registered, you have to have who is your expert professional. You have to have a mining engineer, certified mining engineer, or a certified geologist, whom you will be able to use.
If it's a board member.
As your section 36 manager. So he is the professional that will guide you in that. Then, having done that, we will now want you to see where is your mining site. You have to locate a mining site. Otherwise, all this started. You cannot just take 3 million, open an account and put it there, and you don't have mining site to start the extraction. Then when you have that, then the procedure will continue. By the time you have this, you will have the mining title. You go to Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals, and then they give you a mining title. Then you put a plate in your field. This is my own field by the name of the registration, and you have it there. And then you go into, there are many other procedures, but because before you start even the exploration,
yes,
the leader of the community has to give you consent.
Okay.
You have to take consent.
Okay.
These are procedures.
Yes.
The leader has to give you consent, and also the community. This one has come as a second phase now.
Yes.
The community also have to give you consent.
The leader will give you consent.
Yes.
The community will also give you consent.
Now, why has this come this way? It was in the past, it was also revealed that sometimes the traditional ruler, who is the leader of the community,
yes,
gives consent. And even the owner of the farm, where these minerals are found,
deposit, he won't know.
He doesn't know. He comes and finds all people extracted, and then he makes noise. And then the chief would say, I dare come unto him. And then we say, no, no, no. If that is the condition, even when the chief gives consent, the community must also give their consent of approval for them to make use of the minerals to extract. Then that enables you now to go fully
into the field,
into the field and do your this thing without any trouble.
Okay, but this takes us to the hazards that most of these communities have been exposed to. We have lots of our communities that most of these miners go there, they do indiscriminate mining, their interest is what they make. They don't have the interest of the people living in the community at heart. Those hazards, can you mention some of those hazards that exposed our people into?
There are many hazards in mining that does not follow rules. You recall sometime in Zamfara, where people who are going into mining gold.
Yes.
And people went there and inhale some air, and then we find them just dying because of the toxic nature of the air that is built within that environment.
Okay.
And so they were inhaling this in the paddocks, and so they started dying. So there is the danger of air pollution. These are some of the hazards. And then there is also a degradation of arable land.
Yes.
That you find very often. And the rule says that when you mine, you must restore. You must restore to a certain percentage.
Yes.
But because they have mined illegally and left, you are left with a land that had been degraded.
Yes.
And it is never restored. And then flood will come and sweep in, even where you never expected an erosion to follow such channels. You discover it follows. And then it takes quite a number of people out. There is also the air pollution, as I've mentioned. If you stay where they are doing a lot of blasting work, and then your ears are exposed to that, you find your eardrums getting some dangerous distance.
And then there is cracking.
Yes, there is the earth tremor, and that's why when people are doing blasting, blasting work, even quarry, you find that the quarry is very close to where houses are staying. The rule says no, you must not do that, because as you detonate and you want to blast, you find that the tremor shakes buildings that are very close by. You find big cracks in such buildings that are very close, because the earth vibrates. It's just like a small test of earthquake that you are facing in that place.
Exactly.
You find after 4 or 5 years, most of the houses within that vicinity
start falling down.
So these dangers are quite there. So many other dangers in this that affect both the human lives. You see quite a number of dams. If you had ever been to Plateau in those days, a lot of these dams, and then animals will come and fall into human life. Will come and fall into, and it's a lot of hazards if proper regulations are not maintained.
But why do we now have in Nasarawa State most of the miners that we have in the state? They are foreigners. They are non-indigenous people. So what is happening? Are the indigenous people like you who are professionals not licensed? If you are licensed, why are you not really mining? We need to have a way where the people who owns the land are part of this game, because they also have their relations. They won't be able to expose their relations and their community to this kind of thing. Why do we have foreigners mostly?
Thank you. For the indigenous, one,